and today's video we'll be discussing one of my most used words if you've seen a lot of my videos, and that is the word. Roll that intro. And the word is context. Yes, context. It is so important, especially for basically every situation you can imagine. What is context? Well, context, for at least for me, is what is the situation or what is the dynamics we are addressing it, what is the specifications, like what is the surrounding thing that makes up what we're doing. And in Magic, it's could be simply defining in one aspect, defining the conditions in which you're performing. So let's say, you're being hired by a host, and they say, hey, can you go in the other room and just entertain the guests? And you haven't been given, made aware of the conditions. Let's just say you haven't been aware of the conditions, and so you walk into the other room just to entertain the guests, paid event, whatever. And then you realize the dynamics that you have to work towards. There are maybe tables there. There are maybe people standing around. There is a lower top table which does not allow for lapping. There is different sets of audiences. Maybe they're holding trays for food, or everyone's holding a drink. So you only have one hand for the spectator to participate in, or maybe everyone's working around eating, or they maybe have grease on their hands. Maybe people, it's more of a like they watch you kind of dynamic effect. So with all these different things that relates to the context of how we're performing, we can then build our performance or perform appropriately. So let's say for the case that you decide to go to the people standing. You can't do table effects because no table. And let's say the spectator's hands are full, you wouldn't really it'd be a little bit trickier to use their hands as a table for the dynamic, especially if it's not a very quick trick. So you'd want to do some standing effects, maybe some like a slop triumph, maybe just a simple revelation, stuff of that nature, and go into that. For the table effects, you would want to use the table to your advantage, I would imagine, and especially if you have learned more table effects than standing effects. And for a professional, it's being able to handle all these dynamics without flawlessly, or just create a flow where it just keeps them going. And so you don't have to think, you just think a couple effects as you're doing this. Okay, I gotta do that over there, that over there, and that over there. And for the case of each one, you try to take advantage of the situations. Oh, I'm standing. I have better angles to be able to palm or do whatever I need to do. I have the table, so that in that case, just for those tables, I can actually just specifically do my cups and balls. For the lower end table, I would want, because it's not the best angles and I'm having to lean over, I need to make sure that all my magic, whatever I do, is angle proof. And I still have a table so I can work to those conditions. And so context really plays into it, being aware of the situation. And also, as well as the spectators. Are the spectators, are they inebriated or sedated by alcohol? Are they in the best moods? Just being aware of the spectator, communicating with them. Are they very friendly? Do you need to warm up to them? And just working around all these things creates different context and allows you to do different things in different dynamics. And while it sounds like a lot, it's just a casual, believe it or not, for me, it only takes me about 5 seconds to be able to understand a situation or a group. And it's just being mindful of these things that allows you to handle the situations much easier, rather than thinking I'm going to do the same trick for all the tables and it's just going to work. Because not being mindful of that, or how well people know each other. A friend, you may have just done a wonderful performance over there. Then the spectator comes over. Oh, you're gonna love this trick. He's going to do blah blah blah. And because you didn't change the context or dynamic, they may have spoiled the ending. So now you're on the back foot. and people are expecting whatever you're going to do. And so, hence why, another good point for the context, especially if it's just like a medium-sized room, you would want to perform different sets of materials so everyone has a different experience, and so not everyone can call upon the same experience, so you'd be on the back foot in your performance. Not where anyone would really want to be. So these are just some loose examples of how I use context or performance to get ahead and deliver a professional performance. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't checked out this video or this video yet, definitely check them out, and see you in the next one.